Hogwarts comes to Paris, Olympians and artifacts side by side, and the visionary artists behind Art Nouveau's curvilinear style. That's all coming up in today's show. We're starting here in France, where Harry Potter fans are getting the chance to step into his world as an immersive exhibition celebrates everyone's favourite little wizard. Using a raft of special effects, the exhibit offers visitors the opportunity to brush up on their Quidditch skills, test out Hagrid's giant chair, and relive memorable moments from the literary and cinematic saga. With thousands of tickets sold before the show even opens its doors, fans of all generations are waiting, wands at the ready. Our resident Potter expert, Clémence Waller, explains.
Whether you would rather relive the epic wizarding battles or play a little game of Quidditch, welcome to Hogwarts in Paris, where visitors can immerse themselves once again into the magical world of Harry Potter, which has enthralled readers for the last 25 years. Covering over 25 rooms, Potterheads will need to cast the spell Alohomora to be able to access the first and begin their journey. From number 4 Privet Drive into Harry's bedroom under the stairs, all the way to the Ministry of Magic, with a pit stop in Hagrid's hut, fans of the movies will be able to enjoy the sets and costumes that brought the beloved books from the page to the screen.
And as you go through the experience, you see the costumes, you go in these really beautiful moments, there's media, there's music, and sometimes you have a golden snitch, you tap the snitch, and some magic happens. And it's a personalized journey.
The exhibition allows tourists to step into the shoes of a Hogwarts student, where they will be able to select their house, choose their wand, or have their wand choose them, and reveal their Patronus. Throughout their exploration, the visitors will be able to win points for their team and step up to the challenges. However, the fun is also tailored to bring in new fans to the iconic series, so no one feels left out.
I don't know much about the Harry Potter universe, and the good thing is there are posters which explain the story from the beginning without spoiling the series too much.
The exhibition has already sold over 100,000 tickets before it even opened and is set to last until October 1st. So grab your port keys. This comes after Warner Bros. Announced a brand new television series to span over a decade, which will once again bring the beloved books to life.
Now to an exhibition putting athletic excellence on a podium right next to artistic achievements. Photographs of the footballer Maradona and the French decathlete Kevin Mayer have been put on display next to iconic artworks from the Louvre. That's all part of an exhibition kicking off a series of cultural events ahead of the Paris Olympics in 2024. That show's on right now at the Sports Museum in Nice. Yinka Oyetade gives us a look inside.
A rush of adrenaline, the roar from the crowd, and an overwhelming sense of pride. There's nothing quite like the thrill of victory, and that's the message at the heart of this new exhibit at Nice's National Sports Museum. On display, antiques, ancient sculptures and paintings, all based on the age-old feeling of triumph. For visitors, the expo is a big win.
The exhibition is fascinating. We can see the link between sport, sacrifice, and the peace that it can bring.
You'd never imagine that in a sports museum that you'd see works from the Louvre. This relationship between the two brings to mind the history of sport, and that's interesting.
Just a few weeks before the ancient artifacts were moved from their home, the famed Louvre Museum in Paris. One of the stars in the exhibition, this antique sculpture of Diogenes, which portrays an idealized athletic physique.
The statue personifies victory that comes from competing. Culturally, it's emblematic of what the ancient Greeks practiced daily, which was the art of winning against oneself.
28 artworks in total are on a rare loan to the Nice Museum. Among them are these wrestlers carved out of marble and this antique vase representing Nike, the Greek goddess of victory. The works are exhibited among contemporary pieces. Diogenes finds his match in a photo of French athlete Kevin Mayer.
Cette photo s'est vraiment révélée comme une évidence vraiment pour tout le monde.
The photo clearly shows what we see on the sculpture, that shift in the hip and the shoulders, which we see represented on the statue.
The famous winged victory of Samothrace, one of the most revered works of Hellenistic Greece, has also made the journey to Nice. The exhibition kicks off a series of cultural events for the upcoming 2024 Paris Olympics, an event that's billed to give France a taste of victory.
Going back to the turn of the 20th century now, when the Art Nouveau style was inextricably linked to the illustrations and graphic design of Czech émigré Alphonse Muka. Now his work is the focus of a major exhibition here in Paris, which gives visitors an insight into his avant-garde vision and his impact on contemporary culture. Entitled Eternal Muka, it's on at the Grand Palais Éphémère. Florence Gaillard, Jonathan Walsh and Monty Francis have this report.
Coming through the doors of the Grand Palais Immersif, your senses are immediately caught up, encountering the artist Alphonse Muka, a key figure of Art Nouveau and the inventor of an original style of graphic art. His posters enchanted Paris during the Belle Epoque. Muka grew up in the Austro-Hungarian Empire and dreamt of independence for his country, what is now the Czech Republic, a dream that was realized in 1918.
For him, the idea that the Czech people might have a right to self-determination was an important part of his career. He designed the first postage stamps for the country, he designed the first banknotes, but then also he created the Slav epic, which is one of the centerpieces of this exhibition.
Muka created the Slav epic in his studio in Prague. In this room, visitors can soak up the scents of wood and incense that were a source of his inspiration. The sprawling fresco itself is a testament to survival. It barely survived the Nazi invasion in 1939.
Communist ministers of culture wanted the Slav epic to be destroyed. And so it was only thanks to the efforts of my family and other people who cared about it in Czechoslovakia that we were able to protect it through the dark days of the 20th century. Slav epic was hidden away under piles of coal. It was buried in the forests and it rolled up in tubes. I mean, it's incredible.
Audiences rediscovered Muka's work in the 1960s at a retrospective in London. Since then, it has continued to inspire artists of all kinds, from Jimi Hendrix to video game creators, from advertisers to Japanese manga artists.
Muka is a very contemporary artist because of the relationship or link he has created between pure artistic creation and artistic creation for the masses, especially in the realm of advertising. He's an artist whose graphic lines are very contemporary and clearly recognizable from a distance. And his influence is seen across an infinite number of other works.
Beyond Art Nouveau, the Muka style continues to fascinate and thrill.
Next, in Los Angeles, a new group show is challenging stereotypes about art made by women, especially when those women are working in Islamic societies. Women Defining Women in Contemporary Art of the Middle East and Beyond brings together the work of 42 artists at the LA County Museum of Art. The curators say they want to overcome preconceptions that these are oppressed and invisible groups and instead open up the conversation about women's rights and bodily autonomy in the Middle East and in America too. Here's more from the museum.
The exhibition helps to demonstrate this history just within Iran of women fighting back and fighting for their rights. There's a large video projection by Nusha Tavakolian of a woman who's just standing still while the wind blows around her, and you see plastic bags and leaves, and she's standing still. This is again before the recent uprising in Iran, but it emphasizes the resilience and strength of Iranian women, as do some of the images by Shireen Ali Abadi, like the girl blowing a giant bubble gum. It's kind of like, I'm in charge.
Finally, to a meeting of creative minds that shaped the 1980s fashion aesthetic and changed the way editorial shoots looked forever. Late designer Azzedine Alaïa is known for his figure-hugging, streamlined pieces favoured by scores of high-profile clients, from Madonna to Michelle Obama. A new exhibition at his foundation in Paris shows how his collaborations with photographer Arthur Elgort freed up fashion photography and ushered in a spontaneous mood which made the models the independent, aspirational protagonists of those scenes. We'll leave you with a preview. Otherwise, do check out our website for more arts and culture and our social media too. There's more news coming up here on France 24 just after this.
as I make